Video of top 13 Jason kills if you're interested. Top 13, well, I know top 5 from the last couple of days. Probably in there somewhere.
Welcome to Dead Meat, the channel that's all about being friendly and counting kills, or in today's case, ranking kills, because I'm here to give you the top 13 kills from the Friday the 13th franchise. Friday the 13th is the undisputed body count champion of the genre, with Jason Voorhees racking up 161 kills by himself, and he's not even really into 2 of the 12 movies.
Shit, I
throughout my Friday the 13th
to
kill counts, the flagship series of my channel, I counted up 206 kills, an average of more than 17 per film. A series like this, so focused on kills, is just begging for people to pick their favorites, so I've compiled my personal favorite 13 kills from these films. A couple quick notes before we get started. First off, just like in my video ranking all the movies of the Friday the 13th series, which you can watch right here, these are just my opinions, so no need to be a douche nozzle about them in the comments. Secondly, my criteria for these rankings include a number of things, such as the uniqueness or creativity of the kill, the quality of the effects, whether practical or CG, the impact on the story of the film or the evolution of the franchise, and just how friggin' sweet I think it is. Alright, you've waited long enough, let's get to the rankings. Number 13. Number 13 on my list comes from A New Beginning. The kills in our Roy Burns spin-off special are a mixed bag. Some are cheap close-ups, and many of them
543. Alright. You place your sub badge on that. You bet your sub badge on that, TOS. Let's see. 543.
sparked the biggest horror franchise and the mother of all mommy issues. Number 6. At number 6, we have one of the most iconic kills of the franchise and Kane Hodder's personal favorite. I'm talking about the sleeping bag kill from part 7, of course. This movie's murders were notoriously cut down thanks to the MPAA, but in this one instance, it actually worked out for the better. Originally, Jason was going to drag Judy out of her tent and beat her against a tree multiple times until she was just a bag of blood and mush, but censorship changed it to a single smack. The resulting kill proved to be much more effective and a great showcase of Jason's brute strength. Number 13. Number 13 on my list comes from A New Beginning. The kills in our Roy Burns spin-off special are a mixed bag. Some are cheap close-ups, and many of them have subpar makeup effects, especially compared to other movies in the series, like anything done by Tom Savini. But the best kill comes after Eddie comes back from a riverside crotch wash to find his girlfriend Debbie dead where he left her naked. Debbie's gouged out eyes are great, but the real highlight here is when Eddie finds himself up against a tree with a belt wrapped around his head. With the tightening of a stick, his skull buckles under the pressure, in a kill that's both creative and looks downright gruesome. The kill we see in the final film is unfortunately cut down from earlier extended versions, but it's still good enough to land on my list of the franchise's best.
That's
Number
actually
12.
pretty creative.
The number 12 kill belongs to a very special dead fuck. In the final chapter, my favorite Friday film, Crispin Glover plays Jimmy, a guy who's been down on his luck with the ladies lately, despite the fact that he's a non-stop dancing machine. He finally manages to break his spell and get it in with one of the Doublemint twins, but when he goes downstairs to the kitchen to celebrate his sexual resurgence, Jason's there to give him another screw, a corkscrew that is, right in his hand. Then he sticks a cleaver in his face, and that's it for George McFly. Savini's effects look great here, and I love the way Glover shakes during his death, but the thing that really elevates it is the humorous line leading into it as Glover wonders where his soon-to-be murder weapon is.
Ted! Hey, Ted, where the hell's corkscrew?
Number 11. At number 11, we've got A Sexy Bloody Mess from Jason Goes to Hell. This is a god-awful movie.
This one I think. Alright.
With a whole different beast here. Number 9. Number 9 is basically the opposite of the last kill because of how damn silly it is, and that's what makes it great. Friday the 13th Part 2 features Mark, a jock who's recently had an injury that left him in a wheelchair, and not only is he one of the most enjoyable and sympathetic characters in all of the movies, he also gets one of the best deaths. While outside on the porch looking for the sweet girl Vicky, who's taken a very strong interest in him, Mark turns around and gets a machete lodged deep into his face. Looks pretty good, but the kill doesn't stop there. He rolls backwards down a staircase that seemingly comes out of nowhere and goes on forever. Then a freeze-frame zoom-in white flash combo caps this baby off. It's an unexpected kill with a huge heap of absurdity, and no list of best Friday kills would be complete without it. Number 8.
Nice guy.
The 8th best kill in the franchise comes from the 8th movie, Jason Takes Manhattan, which in most respects is a disgusting sewage barrel of a movie. No need to get into specifics since I cover them in my ranking video, but hands down, the best part of this movie takes place when the boxing prodigy Julius confronts Jason.
How does it die in this one?
Rather
He gets
than fleeing
like
so many
drowned in
victims,
acid,
Julius takes
right?
the big man head on and begins to assault Jason with a series of face punches and body blows that goes on for almost a minute and a half of screen time. Kane Hodder told actor Vincent Craig Dupree to go all out and hit him for real. And do you see all these different camera angles? That means they had to film the scene at least that many times, with Hodder absorbing those hits each and every take. Dupree's fists were legit bloody by the end of it, when Julius tells Jason that it's his turn now.
Take your best shot. Motherfucker.
And Jason goes all Saitama on his ass, knocking his head off with a single blow. The scene is funny and well made and cements Kane Hodder as the actor most physically and emotionally dedicated to being Jason. Number 7. Let's have a kill from the premiere entry to the franchise, the original Friday the 13th. It's the climactic kill that comes at the end, after final girl Alice learns that the matronly Mrs. Voorhees is the one who's been killing all her friends. They engage in a long, drawn-out cat and mouse sequence where both get their licks in on each other, some of them actual real slaps by Betsy Palmer, and it comes to a head, literally, on the beach. Alice disposes of Mama Voorhees with her own machete by charging at her and chopping her head off with a single swipe. It's a triumphant moment and an excellent end to the film that would spark the biggest horror franchise and the mother of all mommy issues. Number 6. At number 6, we have one of the most iconic kills of the franchise and Kane Hodder's personal favorite. I'm talking about the sleeping bag kill from part 7, of course. This movie's murders were notoriously cut down thanks to the MPAA, but in this one instance, it actually worked out for the better. Originally, Jason was going to drag Judy out of her tent and beat her against a tree multiple times until she was just a bag of blood and mush, but censorship changed it to a single smack. The resulting kill proved to be much more effective and a great showcase of Jason's brute strength in Hodder's very first outing portraying the character. Number 5. At number 5, we've got the best kill from Freddy vs. Jason, hands down, with douchebag boyfriend Trey getting basically 2 great kills in one. While his girlfriend Gib is in the shower, Trey treats himself to a bedside beer only to have Jason interrupt his drinking session with a machete. The repeated stabbing is brutal enough, Trey's innards coming out through the bottom of the bed, but to make it even better, Jason then folds the bed in half, breaking Trey's body into an acute angle. The brutality of it is only matched by how satisfying it is to see that asshole of a character get killed. And I was very excited when I saw them recreate the kill at Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights last year.
Oh, it's that guy!
Number 4. Gonna get a little controversial here since it's not ranked higher, but my number 4 kill is Tom Savini's favorite he's ever done, the murder of Kevin Bacon's character Jack in the original film. This kill is so well known that even casual acquaintances
I didn't even know that he was in the movie.
and it's not only because the victim went on to have such a high-profile career. The effects work with Savini and his assistant.
You skipped it, but in one of the kills he actually glitches into a dumpster to hide after.
It only solidified the film as a new benchmark of gore and brutality. It might be the kill singly most responsible for Tom Savini's reputation as the godfather of gore, and for that, it's no wonder it usually tops lists of kills from the franchise. Number 3. But not for me. I've got 3 more that I prefer, and the first is Andy's kill from part 3. While I'm not a big fan of the 3rd installment of the series, I will say this kill has always stood out to me as one of my favorites. Andy is mostly a nothing character whose only distinguishing characteristics are having a pregnant girlfriend and his inclination to juggle and walk around on his hands. That latter talent is what he's practicing when he gets murdered by a machete-wielding Jason, who comes across him in a Higgins Haven hallway and slashes him in half through the crotch. It's an incredibly painful kill to imagine for anyone, especially us dudes. But the real reason I rank this so high is because of the corpse reveal a little later. While reading about Tom Savini and Godzilla, his girlfriend Debbie looks up to see his body in the rafters, and it is all sorts of nasty. Look at the way those legs are folded across his back. It's amazing and disgusting, and I absolutely love it. Number 2. Taking the silver medal on my list is the man behind the mask himself, Jason fucking Voorhees. A few of these movies end with Jason supposedly dying, but almost every single time it winds up being a fake out, usually indicated by something like his eyes opening before the credits. But in the final chapter, there really was an intention to kill him once and for all. In fact, the only reason Savini agreed to come back for the effects work was the promise that he'd get to kill Jason. So they did. Tommy Jarvis, as portrayed by a pre-Goonies Corey Feldman, got to do the honors, tricking Jason by shaving himself bald and distracting the killer long enough for his sister Trish to take the machete and knock his mask off. This scene is so infamous to Friday fans that it became part of the blueprint for how to kill Jason in Friday the 13th the game. With Jason demasked, Tommy picks up his machete and swings it into the side of his head. The way Jason falls and then slides down the machete is one of my favorite images from the Friday series, his face twitching in confusion all the way. To verify the kill, Tommy keeps going with a series of psychotic stabbings as he tells Jason to die,
And then he
die,
becomes fucking
die.
crazy.
But it's really that face slide that lands Mr. Voorhees at the number 2 spot. And don't say this isn't a real kill. Jason actually did die here and would have to be resurrected through the power of lightning before he was able to get back to murder. The fact that this kill ends the human chapter of Jason's life just gives me all the more reason to rank it so highly on my list. Number 1. But the number 1 spot on this list shouldn't really come as a surprise. Sorry to anyone hoping for an upset, but this has been my favorite Jason kill ever since I saw it in theaters as a 12-year-old boy. Jason X is not everyone's cup of tea, but it's impossible to deny that it has one of the coolest kills.
He was allowed to wait.
Yes,
you were allowed to watch
After a
this
couple
shit
of
in the
horny teens on a
theaters.
spaceship have sex,
12
their climax
years
is wake
old.
Jason up in a very Undertaker-esque way. The Crystal Lake badass wastes no time getting back to his old habits, grabbing the first person he sees, in this case, the star intern of the Interstellar
That
class
wasn't allowed in
Adrian, played by
Sweden.
Christy Angus, and murdering her in one of the most inventive
strict
ways
15.
in horror history. He pushes her face
Even
down
with
into an
parents.
open sink full of liquid nitrogen because, you know, why not have that lying around? Then lifts her up to find a frozen visage that he then slams into the table. It shatters and he disposes of the body like it's a broken toy before moving on to continue his slaughter. The kill is so awesome that Mythbusters covered it on an episode, and even with Bacon's arrow through the neck, it's hard to think of any legitimate list of Friday kills where this one doesn't rank highly. And that's my list. I do want to give a few honorable mentions though. First, Deputy Josh's melty kill in Jason Goes to Hell, which I love, but left off the list just
Alright. Well, we got some inspiration for the game.